Hi everybody, welcome to my first review. I am very excited about this, and my first film that I decided to choose was the Disney film Moana. Moana is about the strong-willed daughter of a chieftain of a Polynesian tribe who is chosen by the ocean itself to reunite a mythical relic with a goddess. And in the movie, she has to seek out the demigod Maui, who stole the relic from that goddess, and they must return it, otherwise the world will be pitted into darkness. So, this movie, I wasn't originally interested in. Sadly, even with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in, the reason why I went to this movie in the first place was once I heard who all was composing the music. And when I learned that Lin-Manuel Miranda from Hamilton was helping to compose a lot of the songs, I was incredibly excited to see where that was going. He is somebody that if I hear his name, I'm just going to immediately go for it. But onto the film, it's very refreshing to see something that I don't normally see adapted into movies. I've never seen anything on Polynesian culture, and it was really nice to see it, and I think that it's another fine example of Disney storytelling and, well, animation. The titular character, Moana, played by newcomer, I'm trying to remember how to pronounce her name. It's like Auli'i Cravalho. I'm sorry if I butchered that, but she did a phenomenal job as Moana. She is very three-dimensional in her character, beautifully designed, and I gotta say, her singing voice is so beautiful. It's one of the most refreshing singing voices that I've ever heard. And there's a couple of criticisms that I have on the character, but nothing that was her fault or even the character's fault. It was just how the story was set up, but I'll get more into that later. One of the standout performances in this movie was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as Maui. He's the one that I have the most problem with, not because of Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson does a phenomenal job as him, and even his singing voice. His singing voice is on point, and it just shows that Dwayne Johnson can do anything that he wants. But my main problems were I felt like the character was written a little poorly. He felt very one-dimensional, and he was given a little bit too much dialogue for my taste. I felt like he overshadowed the titular character way too much. I didn't get enough. I didn't get what I wanted from Moana, the character, because of him. And like I said, that's nothing against Dwayne Johnson. He did a phenomenal job. It's just that, you know, it's all in the writing. There's right now I'm doing characters, but there's this one minor character that I have to point out, and it's Tamatoa, who's a treasure-hoarding coconut crab who's gigantic, who lives in the realm of monsters. He's a minor antagonist, but he's played very well by Jermaine Clement he's of Flight of the Conchords fame, and he's even got his own little song. I remember the first time I watched it, I kind of hated it. But then each time I watch it more, it's annoyingly catchy. It's so good. So good. One plus for this film, and I found it very strange that I love this character the most, but it's Hey, the animal companion to Moana. He's a rooster, a chicken, and he has such a low intelligence. I have no idea how he's survived into adulthood, because he's been with Moana since her toddler days, and now she's about, like, say 16, 17, give or take, and that little bastard's still alive. Because he'll be doing stupid things like somebody will give him food and he'll be pecking at it, but it won't be at the food. It'll be like a few inches off and he won't even notice. And there's even a scene where he tries to eat a rock that's maybe about half his size. but he is the most entertaining comedic relief in that movie, aside from Maui, but like I said, I do have a few problems with Maui. That's it as far as characters. It doesn't focus on too many characters, which I do like. It's more centered, and I feel like the movie revolves more around the music, the scenery, the animation. And speaking of animation, I just have to point out, the scenery in this movie is among the most beautiful that Disney has ever done, and even the water at times looked realistic. I could not tell the difference between real water and computer animated water. One thing that this movie does with its animation, for the Disney movies like Frozen, Wreck-It Ralph, and Moana, who are made by the same producers, it's kind of similar to Pixar, but it's a mixture of hand-drawn animation and computer-generated animation. The blend of the hand-drawn and the CGI is just phenomenal in this movie, and you see it in Maui's tattoos, because one of his tattoos has a mind of its own and works as his conscience, and it's all 2D animation. He's just running around his body, and it's a beautiful blend. I would even go to say that the tattoo itself is a character, because of how well he's done. And like I said, he's basically Maui's conscience. He doesn't listen to him all the time, but, you know, he's still there. For the music, this is the reason why I went to the movie in the first place. Because, like I said, I love Lin-Manuel Miranda. I love Hamilton. I've loved everything that he's done. I'm really excited for all of his future projects with Disney. And just, the music is among the best that I've seen in the past, maybe, decade. Like, it made me feel nostalgic towards those Disney Renaissance films from the 90s, or 80s and 90s. You know, like Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin. That music made me feel like I was reliving that. It is beautiful music, and you would have to listen to all of it. The best song in there for me is Maui's solo song, "You're Welcome." It's all Dwayne Johnson. He's singing, and he even raps for maybe a few seconds, and it's beautiful. It's phenomenal. As far as the story goes, it was a very three-dimensional story. I loved the story. There were just a couple of parts that made no sense to me. For one thing, one of the characters does something late in the film that's not part of their character. Like, they don't even explain how that character got to that decision, and it really bothers me. So, like I said, all my problems with the movie are mainly around Maui as a character, and then, without any spoilers, that one scene with the character who just makes a decision that's totally not them. It's just uncharacteristic of them. So yeah, that's all I have for this review. I love this movie. It's already out on digital. Sorry. Like I said, first review. I'm still a little nervous. It's out on digital copy. It should be coming out on DVD in the next couple of weeks or so. But anybody who loves Disney and just great storytelling and beautiful animation, I definitely suggest you buy this movie. Don't just rent. Just buy it. Just buy it. There's no point in renting, because then you're gonna be pissed off that you ended up spending that extra, I don't know, $1 if you go to Redbox, or $3 to $4 if you do iTunes or Vudu or such. Well, anyway, that's all for me today. I'll probably do another review in a little bit, but it's according to how I feel. Anyway, have a good one. Thank you.